Hey, Truth Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It is reported today, July 26th, 2015, that Bobbi Kristina Brown has died, the daughter of Whitney Houston, who was found unresponsive in a bathtub the day before Super Bowl 49. If you're new to my video channel, what I show is that we live in a world where the news stories presented to us are done on a numerological scale and essentially done by the numbers. What I'm going to show in this video is how Bobbi Kristina Brown has now died by the numbers, and her death is very much connected to the death of her mother. The reverse of death is birth and coming into this world. Earlier this year, I did a video on the royal family's baby Charlotte being born May 2nd, and I successfully predicted that her name would be Charlotte before it was announced, using the same skills that I'm now going to show how they connect to her death, essentially. We'll come back and we'll watch the mainstream news coverage in the end, but I just want to get into this Truth Seeker. Notice that the CNN article, I'll just show you right here too, has a timestamp of 1044. If you drop that zero, it becomes 144. In the case of Bobbi Kristina Brown, she died exactly 144 days after turning 22. And the reason that's interesting is because in Revelation, the numbers 144 are used twice, and the number 666 is used once in Revelation, the 66th final book of the Bible. I've done a video post showing how 144 and 666 are connected, but what I want you to realize here is that 144 represents time. In Jewish gematria, the word time sums to 144. The connection between 144 and 666 is interesting because today also happens to be Barack Hussein Obama's sixth year, 6th month, and 6th day in office today. And again, these numbers 144 and 666 are connected. Obama's also the 44th president. The word 44, when written out, has a gematria of 144. Very quickly, just some familiar words. Time in Jewish gematria 144. The phrase mark of the beast 144 in simple English gematria. The first 144 decimal points of pi, meaning the numbers right of the decimal point, sum to 666 when added together. 3.1415, etc. So 1 plus 4 plus 1 plus 5. The first 144 digits sum to 666. Santa Claus in English gematria equals 666. Easter Bunny equals 144. Think about that, especially in the United States of America, where Whitney Houston and her daughter are from. Also, Bobbi Kristina Brown died at the age of 22. Revelation is made up of 22 books. Also, Revelation comes from the Bible Truth Seeker. Bobbi Kristina Brown was found in the bathtub at the age of 21. And this was the day before the Super Bowl, a game that turned out to be all about 21. It ended with Russell Wilson's 21st pass being intercepted by number 21 with 21 seconds left in the game on the date 2-1, February 1st. A play that began on the down 2nd and 1. Done video posts on that. I showed how Russell Wilson was the opening joke of the ESPYs. ESPYs has Pythagorean gematria of 21. All this stuff is ran by the same gang, by the numbers. They let us know that Bobbi Brown died in Duluth, Georgia. Georgia's the 4th state with the 44 gematria. Only it in Wisconsin. So, showing you how this connects to her mother, I want you to notice that the name Whitney Houston has gematria of 216. This is a number that has a connection to 666. If you multiply 6 times 6 times 6, it equals 216. Remember, Revelation is the 66th book of the Bible. If you multiply 6 times 6, you get 36. And if you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 up to 36, it sums to 666. The reason there's 36 numbers on most roulette wheels. Both her and her mother were found in bathtubs. Bathtub has this gematria of 74, like Jesus and cross, also like Muhammad. With regards to Muhammad, he's first mentioned in the Quran, verse 3, 144. And the verse is about how he is the latest prophet in the series of time. People such as Jesus, prophets that have come and been messengers of God. That 144th verse, that number that has to do with time. Whitney Houston was born on August 9th. What's interesting about this day, Truth Seeker, is that August 9th leaves 144 days left in the year. Just like how Bobbi Kristina Brown died 144 days after turning 22. And notice that Whitney Houston died on February 11th, the 42nd day of the year. Bobbi Brown was found unresponsive in the bathtub the day before the Super Bowl. The Patriots went 4-2 in Super Bowls under Tom Brady's leadership. On the first day of February, I just want you to notice these connections between New England, Patriot, and Whitney Houston. They both have gematria of 99. Whitney Houston has a birth life number of 99. Also, she was born in 63, the year that we had a train crash in Pennsylvania, a black church bombing, and a presidential assassination. And earlier this year, when I did my Super Bowl video, I said to watch for the numbers 52 and 144. I said they were going to be important this year. And now look, we have Bobbi Brown dying 144 days after her 22nd birthday, and she's very much connected to the Super Bowl that I made the prediction out of. Going into the Super Bowl, Truth Seeker, there was a lot of 144 focus as well, which I pointed out. Glendale, Arizona, the location of Super Bowl 49, had 144 gematria. The Seahawks and Patriots both entered with 14-4 records. It was the 12th man of Seattle versus number 12 Tom Brady. 12 times 12 is 144. The 12th Fibonacci number is 144. The Patriots advanced to the Super Bowl by defeating the Baltimore Ravens and the Indianapolis Colts, who 44 years earlier were the Baltimore Colts. And the Baltimore Colts won Super Bowl III 44 years earlier. The Patriots were in the 44th year of being in their division. And again, 44 and 144 have this connection as well. She just died in the fourth state with the 44 gematria 144 days after her birthday. And what we found out this year is that all this 144 business is connected to Lupercalia, this festival on the 44th day of the year, with gematria of 44 and 98. And look at the gematria of Tom Brady, who won Super Bowl 49, the day after Bobby's sad day in the bathtub, however you want to put it. Do you see what's going on here, Truth Seeker? Is it starting to come into focus? Whitney Elizabeth Houston has this name gematria of 115, Truth Seeker. In Jewish gematria, the word killing equals 115. Her life number is a life number of 36. Again, if you sum 1 through 36, you get 666. This number connected to 144. She's born with 144 days left in the year. Her daughter dies 144 days after turning 22. And then she dies on the 42nd day of the year. Numbers coded all over black Americans throughout history. Her husband was born Robert Beresford. Bobbi Brown. Notice the names Robert and Beresford have gematria of 33 and 47, two of the numbers we see most heavily coded. He was born in Roxbury, Massachusetts, having gematria of 42 and 33. Just signs that these people are born in to the positions they have. Singers, actors, politicians, we see so much of this. All I wanted to point out here, Truth Seeker, I didn't mean to pull up this slide, but since it just popped up, I just wanted to point out this story was in the media just days before Bobbi Brown was found unresponsive in the bathtub. It was of a 21-year-old woman dying on Highway 33. You know, just these coded stories. You could see around that time 21 was hot. It ended up being important in the Super Bowl. It ties in here with the story of Bobbi. I just told you about how 666 and 144 have so much to do with each other. Remember, these numbers come from pi. And this year, pi was extra special because look at the date, March 14th, 15, a lot like the beginning of pi. Also, True Seeker, this is the town where Bobbi was originally found unresponsive, Roswell, Georgia. January 31st, found unresponsive in the tub in Roswell, Georgia. This is just a different random story from Roswell. But these numbers 33 and 93 are numbers we find so heavily coded, especially in stories such as this. This connects to Whitney Houston through Brandy and Beyonce. Remember, Brandy received a letter from Whitney Houston shortly before her death. I just want to show you how Beyonce Giselle Knowles and Brandy Rayana Norwood both have birth names with 93 Gematria. Brandy was also born on February 11th, the 42nd day of the year, the same day that Whitney died. Beyonce, having the life number of 113, also heavily coded with 33. I've done videos on the marriage of her and Jay-Z and also Kim Kardashian and Kanye West. Beyonce and Jay-Z were married on April 4th, 4-4, and Kim Kardashian and Kanye West were married on the 144th day of the year. So these numbers used routinely in all sorts of ceremonies: birth, death, marriage, all Masonic tributes, all numbers taken from spiritual texts such as the Bible and Quran. So I know it's a lot of numbers, Truth Seeker, but this is really what's going on. Also, that name Bobbi Kristina Brown has gematria of 86. Remember, words like symbol, triangle, and pyramid sum to 86. If we did the S exception on Christina, her name would sum to 95, the reflection of 59. 59, a number coded on black people throughout history. Baltimore, the city, has gematria 59. We saw a big hoax with these same numbers in the Freddie Gray incident earlier this year in Baltimore. Also, from her mother's death to the date she was found unresponsive in the bathtub was a span of 155 weeks. The word Christianity has gematria of 155. And again, all these numbers coming from the Bible. Also, True Seeker, I just want to remind you it was Super Bowl 49. The word revelation has gematria of 49. In Revelation, it says the synagogue of Satan, the false Jews, who can be translated in modern times as the Zionist Masonic Jews who run Israel and more, and this nation and more. They are spoken of in Revelation, and they are spoken of specifically in the Bible verse that has to do with the Church of Philadelphia, which is also the name of the original capital where we had the train crash earlier this year. That train crash was entirely connected to these numbers because it happened at 9:23 p.m., foreshadowing the date of September 23rd, which is the date of Yom Kippur and the day the Pope visits. Notice the gematria of Yom Kippur, True Seeker. And notice the gematria of 52. Out of the Super Bowl, again, I said watch for the numbers 52 and 144 this year. The 266th Pope visits on the 266th day of the year, September 23rd, the day of Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And I'm telling you, all this stuff, even the death of Bobbi Kristina Brown, factors into whatever they have planned for us later this year. This is all part of a big sick joke. Let's close by watching this mainstream news coverage.
As the adorable daughter of pop icon Whitney Houston, Bobbi Kristina Brown was thrust into the spotlight at a tender age. If I got my baby. Born in Livingston, New Jersey in 1993, she was the only child of Houston and R&B singer Bobbi Brown.
And notice, True Seeker, she was born in that year 93, like the numbers on Giselle, Beyonce, Giselle Knowles, Brandy Norwood, and a whole lot more. In history, the names Martin Luther King Jr. equal 93, Malcolm X equals 93. Martin Luther King Jr. was assassinated April 4th. Malcolm X's assassin got 44 years in prison. April 4th and 44 in Gematria, when written out, both sum to 144. The full name for Rosa Parks sums to 93. Her incident was on a bus, which has Gematria 42. I'm telling you, Truth Seeker, all throughout history, sick jokes by the numbers over and over.
Now, at just 12 years old, her family's drama was turned into reality TV fodder on Being Bobbi Brown.
Notice how they go right to 12 in the mainstream reporting. Major number of focus in the Super Bowl. 12 squared is 144. The 12th Fibonacci number is 144. Again, she died 144 days after her 22nd birthday. Her mother's birthday leaves 144 days in the year.
Brown. I'm watching you, young lady. Then, in 2012, tragedy. Whitney died suddenly. Her mother's shocking death sending Bobbi to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles.
I'm gonna make it now. It's gonna be good.
As Bobbi tried to recover from the loss, cameras went along for Lifetime's The Houstons on Our Own.
But you see how happy you are?
I really was.
We gotta find this girl again.
That girl's just been through a lot. I miss her so much. Estranged from her father for nearly 2.5 years after Whitney's death, she shared this photo of them reuniting in June of 2014. Her parents struggled with addiction, and Bobbi, too, faced allegations of drug use.
I wanted to do the right thing. And all I'm trying to do is guide her to the right place in her life.
But Bobbi tried to move forward, explaining on Oprah's Next Chapter how she was coping with her mother's death.
I can hear her voice, in spirit talking to me and telling me, keep moving, baby. I'm right here. I got you.
As Bobbi Kristina dealt with the loss of her mother, she sparked a romance with Nick Gordon. The relationship raised eyebrows. Days before she was found unresponsive in a bathtub at the home she shared with Gordon, she posted these photos on Instagram and tweeted, "Miss you, Mommy, so much. Loving you more every second." Now, more than 3 years after her mother's death, the 22-year-old's life also cut short by pain and tragedy.
And again, Truth Seeker, today was Obama's 6th year, 6th month, 6th day in office. So 666 connection with the first black president, number 44. And then daughter of an American superstar. Whitney Houston really is considered one of the greatest American singers, I think, by a lot of people. All by the numbers. All part of something that needs to be exposed ever so bad. All right, Truth Seeker. Until next time.